Because I think it slopes that way, away from the wall.
Towards the center?
Yeah, so either you have to go deeper back here or shallower up there, which...
There's something there.
What's that?
Something for your spike. Yeah, that's pretty solid. Throw your spike in there. Dink.
Was it just a rock or? Ooh.
Right?
That's plastic.
That's somebody's pipe. Uh-oh. That's plumbing.
Why would there be plumbing over here?
Right?
Shouldn't be any plumbing over here.
Is that plumbing?
Yeah. Let me see.
Did you call before you dig?
Well, not over here. Oops.
You broke it, whatever it is.
You did.
No.
You did that.
You did that.
No, I did this over here.
No, I heard it go pink right when you did it.
Dude, what are you talking about? You were banging on this for like 5 minutes. We'll have to review the footage, I guess.
Here, if I'm going to get accused for it, let me get a good one in there then.
Well, no, I want to know, like, there shouldn't be a irrigation over here. Interesting.
Houston?
Very, very interesting. This could be old, too.
Well, it is now.
Well, that means all 4 of these holes are going to have
yeah,
that.
it's going to have a pipe run right through them, right?
Yeah.
Huh? You said you want to dig up the pipe. Oh. Yeah, did you see it lift up the ground?
Yes.
Look. Oh, yeah. Oh, broke there.
See, this is not... Oh, I think it just...
I think you just took it out. Wow.
Cool. Back at the shed build here today. The last thing you saw us do is we had started digging these holes, and as you can see, nothing has really changed. It has been crazy raining here, as I'm sure many people know. We've gotten a lot of rain. So I just kind of dug this hole back out, and then, you know, we're just continuing on with this. I'm not going to really show this part, actually. I think this is pretty self-explanatory. What I'm doing is we're digging some holes. We already laid out the perimeter here. So I'm just gonna dig these holes and make them about 12 by 12. I'm gonna put sand in the bottom and then some gravel, just some pea gravel. And then we have these 12-inch, I think they're 12-inch, they might be 8-inch, sort of top cap stuff, or a paver, if you will. I mean, it looks just like the cinder block material. So it's gonna be sand, pea gravel, this top cap, and then these are gonna just float on top of them. So that will form the base of this shed. Then these will get buried maybe up to about here or so, you know, halfway up. The shed will actually sit here on that. I'm just going to continue to dig these holes out tonight. I will actually just bring you back when the holes are dug and I have these in place. No sense in watching me dig holes. That's kind of weird, maybe. Plus, I think you've already seen us dig some of these holes. Anyway, yeah, you can see just how much it's been raining. The cinder block wall is just still so wet. Everything's pretty wet still, but finally it's not muddy out here. You can see part of this block wall footing that's sticking up here. The thing is that that's actually not the footing. It's just overpour. I really want to get this back as far away from the wall as possible, or maybe just like another 4 inches. I mean, I want to be about 4 to 6 inches away from the wall anyway, but there's a lot of concrete that just came out here. I think they just poured a bunch of concrete right there. But this first course down here goes down another 6 inches or so. And then there's another 12 inches of concrete below there. So this isn't actually the footing, it's just overpour. Like they just poured a bunch of extra concrete in here. Because on this hole, it's not there. You can see there's no footing visible, and I can dig down all the way. Over on that one, you can kind of see some of the overpour, but it's close enough to the wall that it's not in the way. But I think what I'm going to do here is I have a little hammer drill. I'm just going to kind of chisel that away to make this a little bigger and deeper. Once I get down far enough, it's fine because it's just going to have sand and gravel and then the stuff on top of that. The sand and the gravel and the paver will be brought to level, and it's an arbitrary level because I'm not trying to match it with anything around the yard. It just all of them just have to be the same level. So I'm just going to pick one, whatever one is the highest, probably that one because I may not be able to go down as deep. So that will be sort of the high point, and then I'll level everything else up to that point. That's about it. So I'm gonna get started on this and see how much I can get done before the sun goes down. Hey everyone. Wow, it has been a long time. Look at this ridiculous yard. So we had the most rain I've ever seen in my life here in California. And I just let this grow. This is fine because it's helping the soil over here. I've actually started on this shed again. So I cleared all the brush. It looked like that like a half an hour ago. So I laid down some weed barrier, and I'm gonna get started on building the floor system here. When I went to the big box store to get all this lumber, I tried to purchase it and put it in the van in kind of the order that I was going to be using it. So you'll see there's a lot of, here's all the pressure treated stuff that's gonna go on the base, and then the wall system here, the outer sheathing, the roof. But I screwed up and put all the subfloor down here. So that means I have to move all this stuff out, unfortunately, by myself in order to get this floor system down. No worries though, I'll get it done. Wow, so it is the next day, later in the next day. As is usual, I had to go get more things. I did get this finished yesterday and everything went pretty well. You can see over here I miscounted. This is all pressure treated here because it is close to the ground, if not in contact with the ground where these posts are. But this one's technically not touching the ground, so it doesn't technically need to be pressure treated, and it'll be fine because it's a shed. I mean, in order for this to rot out, it would have to be very wet all the time, and it's dry here where we live, so I'm not worried about it. The reason why why that one is not correct is when I originally designed this, I designed it as a 5 feet by 10 feet. Upon further inspection and kind of looking at what I wanted to put in there, it turns out I needed really 6 feet. So I redesigned it for 6 feet, but on my cut sheet, I didn't update my cut sheet. So it was still for the 5 footers, which is why I ended up getting 10 footers here. A 10 foot cut in half would still be more than I would need for each one of those. So I bought enough 10 footers as if I was building for 5 feet. Since I went to 6 feet, it's not enough. No matter. I bought extra of these, so I just put one of them in there. So yeah, not too bad. I think it's all level, everything looks good. Joist hangers and everything. And so I basically just put this front piece on, back piece, put the joists in, and then I fastened it in one of these center pieces, took a diagonal measurement of both to square it up, and then fasten the backside. Now the next thing is to get the subfloor in here and then start building walls. I apologize ahead of time. I have not really gotten any footage of this at all, so I'll just run you through where I'm at with this so far. Okay, as you can see, I got the back wall up with the siding. I actually was able to get it painted. So I painted the back of this, so now I don't need to deal with that. With a little help from a friend yesterday, we were able to get this header up here and installed. So you can see that's going to be essentially the opening to the whole shed. So now what we're doing, the final thing we did last night is we got one of these rafters cut. So I have a template for this rafter. So I got the little seat that'll go on the rafter, or sorry, on the header, and then this will sit on top of the top plate on the back side over there. So I'm going to cut 5 more of these, get them installed up here on, as the rafters, and then what I'll do is cut a top plate from here to there, and then that should form the top plate and the bottom plate for the studs, and then there'll just be 1-2 studs in there, doing 24 inches on center if I haven't mentioned that before, and then same thing on that side. This is going pretty well. Pretty happy with this so far.